On the streets of Hong Kong, a group of kids are in trouble. It's not the first time. These are kids that society has lost. Now Superintendent B.J. Smith and a small team want to try a challenging approach. They're bringing these kids into the boxing ring to teach them the disciplines of fighting. Can boxing offer a way to bring these kids back into society? The next few months will tell. This may be the last chance to stop another generation from falling through the ropes. It's 8 p.m. Police are patrolling a housing estate in Hong Kong. Trouble is lurking in the shadows. Petty thefts, underage drinking, drug use. Almost always juveniles. The stark signs of a generation heading into a life of crime.
They meet the wrong people, they meet the wrong friends in the housing estates. Most of these younger kids are, although they may not be fully fledged triads, they are affiliated, or they like to think they're triads and they use the name. And then that starts the whole cycle of getting into more and more trouble. They get into violence, they get into fights.
Before long, the future is set. Another generation of children lost to society, spending the rest of their lives in and out of prison.
I was 16 years old when I was arrested. My parents were very sad. They never thought I would do stuff like that. My mom, she never thought that I would get arrested from the police and then be in the jail. My friend got kind of bullied by a local person, so we were there to talk, but it turned into a fight. After the fight, we tried to run away. Police came, got arrested.
細個太曳啦，即係成日又唔返學啊，又唔做功課，周圍走啊啲啊，識埋啲不良嗰啲壞人嗰啲啊，即係黑社會嗰啲啊，偷過嘢啦，偷嗰啲無聊嘢啦，因為細個冇乜錢啊，偷埋嗰啲咩嘢食啊嗰啲啦。第一次俾人捉咗喺嗰間超級市場。之後捉佢之後，咪報警佢哋入去差館。
Jason's trouble started at 14, when he was arrested for having sex with a girl the same age.
跟住關於風化案嗰啲嘢咯，同女仔發生過性行為，因為呢件事入咗男童院7個月，出翻嚟之後又喺質人嗰度住宿舍啊嘛，我本身跟住冇翻宿舍1日，跟住個檢法官就又掟咗我過去壁屋。
After years of seeing the same story play out generation after generation, B.J. Smith has decided the answer doesn't lie in more policing.
If you've been to Hong Kong, you've been to some of the housing estates in some of the poorer areas, I think you'll soon realise why or how they get into trouble. They come from broken families, so either there's one parent, the parents are divorced, or even the grandparents may be looking after them. They're living in the poorer housing estates. They don't do well at school, typically. They get in trouble at school. They don't have much respect for their teachers. When it comes to people under the age of 18, we don't like to just arrest them the first time and put them through the court system where they end up with a criminal record which they keep for the rest of their lives.
With juveniles, BJ has an option called a superintendent's discretion. He'll use it to offer one last chance, face a life of imprisonment, or participate in a radical police program called Operation Breakthrough.
It was quite very scary because we were put in a jail for like really real jail, and it was really scary.
In here is all the statements and all the evidence, which means that you committed this offence, which means we can charge you.
He mentioned about his police boxing club. He said that if you want to fight, don't fight outside. Instead, come to the police club and use your energy in proper way.
That means I take boys like yourself that have been arrested, we give them a chance, we teach them how to box, not fight, very different, how to box. And for those kids, you work with volunteer police officers, you understand more about the police force, and you become fitter and stronger and have more confidence. It's all very positive stuff, but you have got to want to do that. Are you interested in that scheme?
Yes, sir.
For the next few months, these boys will join Operation Breakthrough. This program runs counter to traditional approaches to crime. Instead of punishing, it's intended to offer the boys a way out of a cycle of antisocial behavior that usually begins with low self-confidence. Boxing is something that Jason is particularly looking forward to.
我就係諗住打拳呢樣嘢就係學識咗之後，第一個唔使俾人打，第二個就可以自衛咯。唔係即係有時同啲 friend 出街啊，佢哋好中意撩人㗎，所以就如果人哋即係撩興人哋嗰時，分分鐘打交啊嘛，所以我就諗住學識咗之後，冇俾人打得咁金咯。
You can change a kid through sport without him even knowing you're doing it. You know, we're not lecturing the kids about the rights and wrongs of life. You know, how you should behave, how you should be a model citizen. Kids know what's right and wrong. They know all that stuff. Using sport, we sort of subtly get into their minds, and we subtly become role models through the actual medium of the sport.
This is the key to Operation Breakthrough, to draw the boys into caring about something so much that they will finally accept society's rules. Before BJ and the team can change them, they first need to find some common ground.
OK， 我會講少少嘢，你一定要聽我講。我會講英文啊，俾阿 David 翻譯嘅。My name is BJ, and I'm the chairman of the Hong Kong Police Boxing Club, and David is my deputy chairman. You are here as part of the Operation Breakthrough program, and you're also boxing in the police boxing club, so two things at the same time.
But for boys like Sam, who have been running without boundaries, this is a huge change. And for both sides, it's a challenge.
When they arrive, you take an interest in them. You make sure that they are not misbehaving. They soon realize that they are in a disciplined environment. They better listen to the instructors. Then after that, you take more of an interest in them. You get to talk to them, you get to know them. The most important thing is, what do you give us? They then sort of open up a little bit more with you, and that bond develops over the weeks and months, and that hopefully that's what will change them in the long run.
But the change won't come easy.
Now, while you're here, I can see you, I'll be watching you, and if you are misbehaving, I will talk to you and I'll give you a warning first. If you continue, you're out and you don't come back, all right? You get one warning and then you're out and you do not come back ever.
Sam wants to be really clear on his new boundaries.
It shouldn't be anything, right? You should do everything right. But I understand sometimes we all make mistakes. If John or Simon tell me it's serious, then you're out. So it's got to be serious enough for them to tell me. And that's the right reaction, because you won't do it again, I promise you.
Over the coming months, Sam and the other boys will be pitched into an intensive training program. It will be mentally challenging and physically demanding, especially for the smaller boys, who may be as young as 13 years old. For some of the boys, this will be the most physical training they have ever done. The first time that they have been forced to measure up to someone else's requirements.
At the first day of the training, we had to do a lot of skipping and a lot of footwork, boxing stance. I was taught how to do boxing stance, proper boxing punches. I was introduced to hit the sandbags, right, how to hit it the proper way.
Another new boy joining the program is given the same tough message. This is Joel Fai.
How old are you? 15. Don't get in trouble. Right? Be a good boy. With your parents, with your school, with your friends, no trouble. No fighting, no swearing, no smoking, no bad things, okay?
Okay.
Then you come here. If you do one bad thing wrong, then we stop. You promise? 有冇應承啊？應承啊。Okay, good.
But the tough stance is only one half of the mix.
They enjoy the process. If they don't like it, then they may get bored, and there's nothing to make those boys come to boxing. We can't force them to come, so we hope that they come because they want to come. So although we make it structured and disciplined, we have to make it fun as well.
While the Operation Breakthrough regime may be fun, it is far from a soft option. For one of the boys, it's proving too much.
It's basically when you're in the street, police are looking at us as a bad guy. And then when you get in the gym, they talk to us like a friend. And it's like really good feeling. Yeah.
BJ knows they only have a few training sessions in which to get the boys to drop their street identity. Will they buy into the new regime of discipline needed to succeed in the boxing ring and the world outside? The battle against crime among the disaffected youth of Hong Kong can seem unwinnable. Filling centres with a steady stream of candidates for the radical Operation Breakthrough. This is Chak Yam School and Hostel, where Sam, Jason and the other boys live under the superintendent's discretion or care and protection orders imposed for their own safety.
Two different types of kids we have here are kids with under probation orders, or they're under the superintendent's discretion. They get sent to us because they've come into conflict with the law. Often it's hard for these kind of boys to acknowledge responsibility for their own bad behaviour. They find it difficult to accept that something they did got them into trouble in the first place.
我喺呢間學校變做學校社工，咁就呢間係一間群育學校啦，最主要嘅對象就係一啲情緒行為問題兒童咯。我哋呢類學生咧就變咗會係較為有時會較為鬆懈啲啊，或者較為俏皮啲啊，唔守規矩啦，甚至乎可能即係打交啊，或者係同老師嗰個有個 conflict 啊，咁嗰啲情況。
Gathering so many troubled youths in one place creates a cauldron that frequently boils over. It is the challenge Operation Breakthrough must overcome.
Usually it involves a student losing their temper, often because they're being disciplined but they won't accept the discipline. They might throw chairs and tables over in the classroom, or a worst case scenario is to pick up a chair and threaten you with it.
上緊堂嗰時就周圍走啊，跟住有時啲台啊嗰啲爛咗，跟住就攞出去，即係塊板爛咗，可以掹到出嚟嘅咁樣，跟住佢哋就成班揸住塊板走出嚟喺度玩咯。
日日佢上到堂咧，就車咗車凳，又唔俾入門口啊嗰啲，又佢一開電腦啊，熄翻電腦嗰啲咯。即係例如佢有啲書喺度拎咗上嚟啊，拎嗰啲水樽嗰啲抌晒去個中學校嗰啲咧，多數都咁樣咯。
我一個禮拜扯台1、2次到啦。咁老師無啦啦攞啲嘢整我，咁我痛，我咪打個包佢咯。咁個老師要我寫道歉信。
They shout and speak a lot of foul language. They gesture, like puff themselves up and do all that stuff.
Operation Breakthrough aims to break down those behaviours. But Ying Nam is facing a hard decision. Since pulling out of training, because of a dizzy spell, he hasn't been back.
跟住第二次啦，第二次咧你就跟住佢病咗啦，咁啊冇去到。咁你跟住第三次咧，你應承我去嘅喎，你記得先。咁但係第三次咧唔到你啦。咁其實你而家諗緊就係你自己覺得係咩原因令到你冇去到咧？
上次去做義工啊，就過咗隔離，就做到3點半，跟住做完翻嚟啊，就幫我揾你嘅，但係已經我好攰啊嗰時做到，我所以冇去。即係而家嚟緊啊，即係嚟緊我哋仲有10堂噶嘛，咁你嗰個係啦，仲會唔會去啊？會。
But for Ying Nam, returning to Operation Breakthrough is a challenge. He's not as fit as the other boys. Although he's keen to train with them and change his life's direction, the exercise regime is a daunting prospect. And when the boys next go to the club, there's no sign of Ying Nam.
The police volunteers who run it have told them point blank that if they get into any fights in school or out on the street, they'll be out of the boxing program immediately. So the kids take that very seriously, and there's a sort of a discipline involved with the boxing program, which is something they need, actually. They often have been lacking discipline in their lives.
But the ever more punishing demands seem to be having a surprising effect. And the Operation Breakthrough team appear to have achieved their first objective, breaking the barrier between boys and police trainers.
覺得啲人望落去，即係睇佢行啲步伐啊，望佢講啲嘢啊，行啲普通嘢啊，覺得好似好嚴肅咁，但係實際上唔係嘅。幾健談嘅都。
In the following weeks, the program intensifies further, until it begins to test even the stronger boys, such as Jason.
攰唔攰？有啲攰，不過就覺得好好玩咯。
好玩，頭先痛唔痛啊？打落個膊度，打落個
唔痛，但係如果唔戴咗個拳套咧，就會打到甩皮咁咯。
But not everybody is coping as well. The new boy, Zhou Fai, hasn't shown up for training.
Don't get in trouble, right? Be a good boy. With your parents, with your school, with your friends, no trouble. So you should have gone home after boxing on Thursday. You didn't go home.
Yes, because Friday is holiday.
Yeah, Friday,
so
Saturday, Sunday.
Go back to the home. So totally 4 day.
Didn't go home.
Because this boy have a COP order, so
you had to go home on a certain curfew.
Yeah.
So his parents reported missing person?
Yes.
So the police found him,
Yes.
and then he broke his curfew and he had to go to court, and now he's been remanded in the two-man boys' home. Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I said to him last week, one thing you promised me you would behave yourselves, and they all said, yeah, no problem, yes sir, oh definitely. But if we can get the majority, then I'm happy, you know? I understand some will just not listen, and that's just their choice. At the end of the day, it's their choice. So if that's his choice, then he'll have to learn things the hard way.
BJ is worried that too much emphasis may be put on fitness training, and he may lose more boys unless he adds an extra element. It's time to get in the boxing ring. This is the reason Jason and the other boys are here. But it is also their worst fear.
They are kind of terrified because they know that night they gotta be hitting.
These boys are accustomed to the law of the streets. But on the streets, they move in packs. Here, they are on their own. Nowhere to run, no shadows to hide in. And the likelihood of losing face in front of the other boys is high. It's as nerve-wracking for those waiting as for those in the ring. Jason has come through a little shaken, but with his pride intact.
好明顯就係輸啦。同我對打嗰個師兄，佢就係識得運用啲俾人優勝嘅嘢嚟壓到對方咯。
佢個鼻又紅晒啊，窒一窒咯。話晒佢咁大隻都俾人打到咁，何況我。
Many people will think about it as boxing is just two full guys who hitting each other, hurting each other, but that's not. It's just like a chess game. They have to think how I get a punch land on you. The kids from Jiangyan, they have guts to fight.
But BJ is about to raise the stakes even higher.
Right, Akun, can I have the boxes here, please? You're all tired? Good. Come in, come in. Right, I've been talking with Akun, and he thinks your train has gone very well, and you're ready for the next stage. You'll be fighting against either me, or Akun, or one of the boxers out here. So make sure you learn about how to defend yourself and listen carefully to Akun, because it'll be very important when you step in that ring and fight for real. Okay, happy? You okay? No problems? All right, thanks. Carry on.
Even though he took a bad hit, Jason shows a new confidence after his first bout in the ring.
People might think that teaching the boys how to fight would have a negative effect. It seems that some of the boys have been, it's built their self-esteem a little bit, and learning the discipline of boxing, it's given them an outlet, and they don't need to exhibit such aggressive behaviour to get respect in the classrooms or in the playground. They sort of feel they've got it. They've been building their respect through the boxing program, which is good.
Yuhei's mother is also noticing differences since he began Operation Breakthrough. Yuhei has had a history of truancy, getting expelled from school, and then getting in trouble for slapping his female teacher.
當佢發脾氣嗰陣時間，我就唔同佢爭拗咯，會嬲到咧企喺度嚟望住你咯。我唔出聲咯，我做翻我喺屋企做嘅嘢咯。咁我都試過佢平靜落嚟咯，之後平靜落嚟嘅時候，我就同佢講翻咯，我話。你都要諗下，我有時我嘅感受啊，做媽媽嘅感受㗎咁講。我話我知我哋咁嘅年紀係 out 啲㗎啦，唔明白你啲心意㗎啦，所以我想你講俾我聽，咁我明白下咯。幾好啊，幾舒服啊，同埋啲學生都好認真嚇，同埋咧睇佢哋都幾用心去學習咯嚇。
呢個係
DJ 係啦，咁呢個就 David 佢係。
And it's very important that as his mother that you support him as well, because when we finish here, then you take over. We're only here for a few hours. After that, it's yourself. So it's very important that you support him in this program as well. And we're already seeing him be more attentive and listen to us. And there's been a small change in his character already, a good change. 如果你咁樣講啊，佢好快佢嘅態度會進步啊！我哋真係好開心啊！係咪啊？呢個真係好開心啊！
佢咧起碼翻到屋企咧，佢雖然話哎呀好攰啊，同埋佢好最開心一樣嘢，佢同我講話，我哋全隊人如果係邊一個有咩差錯做得唔好，成隊罰所以我哋。
Yuhei is facing an extra challenge. He is having to fit his boxing training around a court-imposed curfew. needing the support of his mother to get to and from training inside his curfew hours is helping strengthen their relationship. The importance of family life is often overlooked in seeking solutions to crime.
All the kids in the boxing club are boarding here at Chakyan School, and that's one thing that's different about this school, is that we have a hostel section where the boys live, and they get to go home on the weekends, some of them.
我唔中意長制人，因為裏邊啲自由度冇咁大喎。長制人就唔可以出夜街。
我屋企人驚我又出嚟搞事啊嘛。即係如果你返中學又唔入宿舍嘅話，驚我又好似細個咁樣又逃學啊，唔做功課咁樣，又出邊識埋嗰啲黑社會嗰啲啊。
宿舍唔係唔好，但係我始終都係想多啲陪屋企人咯。所以即係佢哋一放假，我即係有時冇得放啊嘛，有啲即係冇返宿舍啊嗰啲要扣假啊嘛。但係跟住之後，我一有時間我就會返屋企陪下屋企人食下飯咁咯。
Now, ahead of their upcoming showdown with their own trainers, the pace of Operation Breakthrough picks up even further. By adding a new target out ahead of them, the Breakthrough team hopes to drive them to accept greater demands than they have ever faced, while staying within the rules that have been laid down.
當一個細路仔中意嗰樣嘢，你仲要為嗰樣嘢去付出。即係當然佢中意佢哋打 boxing， 咁因為玩 boxing 嘅過程，阿 BJ 都講咗啲規例啦，就要你哋守規矩啊、返學啊。咁變咗相對嚟講，因為佢哋想打 boxing， 咁變咗佢哋咪個動機咪大咯，守翻規矩。咁呢個亦都係即係呢個 boxing 令到佢哋做好嗰個推動力咯，我會咁樣睇。其實學校咧都有其他嘅 feedback， 即係關於個 boxing， 咁啊分別有唔同嘅老師都帶，咁唔同老師翻嚟咧都話俾我聽咧，即係佢都好驚訝我哋學生嗰個即係去到嗰個投入啦，去到嗰個 program 個投入啦，同埋另外就係佢哋嗰個參與性係好高咯。
The boys are now putting up with challenges they would have found impossible at the beginning of term. What started out as a way of staying out of jail that sounded like fun is starting to make the boys think seriously about having a future. But BJ is worried about Jason. He hasn't shown up for training for the past few sessions. BJ is told that Jason has not only dropped out of Operation Breakthrough, but also dropped out of school. BJ can only hope he will stay out of trouble.
我諗住係早啲出嚟做嘢，係幫下屋企手啊，跟住所以就唔讀書咯。
等我講，你可以飲水。
But another boy has heard about Operation Breakthrough and turned up at the boxing club, hoping to join.
If you come here every week, we will make you strong and fit and we'll make you a good boxer. And if you stay here, you can have, maybe go overseas, go to other countries, you have competitions, all those things, and you'll be much happier, stronger, fitter, more confident. So we will do a lot of things for you, but you must be a good boy, okay? And every week you can come. What's your name? Wilson. Wilson. English name as well. Good. Okay, thank you, Wilson. And David, get some water and rest. All right, hold deep. Do you want to go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to go?
For BJ, this is Operation Breakthrough, a constant juggling act. Sometimes father figure, sometimes teacher, sometimes cop.
So not the first time tonight, you boxed before?
No, not the first time.
Wow.
But not here.
Why is your English so good?
Because my school is use English to...
Oh, English school?
Yeah.
哇，真係好。3、4、5。
And the juggling act continues. These boys are about to enter a world they have only ever dreamt of.
With the left, with the right, knock him out, knock him out, knock him out for the night. One time, left, right, knock him out. Two times, knock him out, knock him out. With the left, knock him out, with the right, knock him out, knock him out, knock him out for the night.
They have the chance to sit in on a real-life gala boxing event. This is Operation Breakthrough's secret weapon, the ultimate bait. Having drawn the boys into accepting the rules and disciplines of the boxing club, this is the knockout punch intended to ensure they want to stay playing by the rules. The ultimate in glitz, glamour, and at the center of it all, the blue boxing uniform of the police boxing club. The boys are not only here, they are here on the side of the police. Operation Breakthrough has given the boys something to aspire to. But the real test is about to come. There's trouble in Hong Kong's Operation Breakthrough. The new boy, Wilson, was in a fight before he arrived at the boxing club.
4 boys beat me.
He gave me his side of the story, that he'd basically been picked on by another group of boys for no reason, and that they've started to hit him, and he never fought back. If they start to fight you, just walk away. Don't fight back, all right? If you fight back, then you get in trouble as well. You walk away, it means you're a stronger person. The better you are at fighting, the less you have to fight. Because you know you can beat them all. But they're not worth it, you know? Not now, but later you can. But you won't do it later. Even if you can beat them all, you won't do it. Because it's not a good thing to do, right? The strongest thing to do, you just walk away, ignore them. They'll get in trouble, but you won't get in trouble.
But the remaining boys have other things to worry about. BJ has decided to raise the stakes again.
Right, I told you earlier that you would fight later against one of the boxers. But you're going to fight now. The first one that you'll fight will be Dao Zheng. You'll fight 2 2-minute rounds. Dao Zheng. 你要戴茶盔。
茶盔。係。第一下 referee 會叫你哋 break。break 嘅意思就係大家褪後一步，個 game 就繼續開始㗎啦。
First into the ring is Sam's friend Kelvin. He is facing police officer Dao Zheng, who is an Operation Breakthrough graduate. BJ is taking a risky gamble. The boys have come a long way. But facing up to seasoned police boxers in the ring may either cement their newfound confidence or embarrass them so much they lose it.
右手成日垂咗落嚟啊！攞翻高少少嘅右手，得唔得？保護自己。
For the less confident boys, it's scary. For the confident ones, it's exciting and scary. BJ wants to handle things carefully to ensure the move doesn't backfire.
High five.
He sends Yuhei into the ring ahead of Sam.
Làm 上去嗰陣時真係好怯㗎。同啲師兄打我，佢手瓜做咗我大髀喎。
The boys have put trust in their training. Suddenly, they risk failing in front of their trainers. In the past, they have hidden behind not caring. They have made a pride out of failing. Operation Breakthrough has taught them to believe in succeeding. But now, that is being put to the test.
冇嘢，記住出拳，你唔出拳咧，人哋就會出拳打你㗎啦。手高保護自己 ，1 2 3 4咁樣去打，得唔得？打嘅時候唔係咁樣叫打咗，得唔得？教過你㗎啦，向前打嘛，踏步上去啊嘛。不過佢反應好快。咩啊？佢反應一定快過你㗎。佢反應一定快過你，佢已經較慢咗佢啲動作嚟就你㗎啦。佢較慢咗佢嘅動作，佢放輕咗佢嘅力㗎啦。如果佢真係要同你嚟真嘅話，一響鐘你就㗎嘛，你明唔明啊？
Ultimately, the boys are being led to realize that it's not so much about winning as simply not being beaten. Taking hits but keeping on track regardless. But as he prepares for his turn in the ring, Sam has an extra challenge coming.
I think this one. Oh. Yes. Yeah. I think so. You're fighting BJ.
One of the bigger boys of that group that joined us, although he's quite young, he's physically bigger. And that puts a bit more pressure on him because a lot of times bigger boys are looked up to just for their physical size and more is expected of them from the other group. So a bit more pressure on him to start with. I deliberately chose him to fight when we did the sparring. I think he'll get a little bit more face out of fighting me, one of the bigger boxers in there, than anybody else. So I wanted him to fight me when we took him in the ring. But he was up for it. He didn't show any sort of fear. He got in the ring and he gave a good performance. And I think his sort of standing amongst his friends probably would have gone up a little bit.
打頭得唔得？望住佢頭嚟打，但係係啊，一定有距離，每個對手都有距離嘅。攞好啲，擺好啲個裝，你入去上步啊嘛，講過啦，上步打直拳啊嘛，攞到差唔多啦，啱位啦，佢係一定打到你嘅手長腳長，攞到差唔多位啦，上步打，咁你咪賺翻嗰段距離咯。 得唔得？清脆啲，一就一。
不過我用全力打佢都唔會痛啦，都有少少刺激嘅。
He's one of the ones that I think will continue to come with the boxing. He seems to have an interest in it, and he's one of the ones I think to do very well out of the whole program.
And BJ's gamble has paid off. The bouts have boosted the boys' confidence and have also strengthened the bond with their trainers.
點解我對呢嘢咁有興趣？好玩，即係例如有啲嘢雖然好難做，咁人要有挑戰性啊嘛，咁咪又好玩，咪挑戰下幾好啦。覺得佢好好笑咯，但係有陣時認真起上嚟，佢幾認真嘅都。
阿 BJ Sir 佢講嘢幾過癮，幾好笑。咁老係咪真係抽得㗎？事實證明佢真係抽得嘅。
But now it's crunch time for Operation Breakthrough. The boys' school term has finished. During the holidays, there's no one to ensure they come to the boxing club, and they may end up back on the streets.
So tonight's a pretty big night. The boys have been training with us now for a couple of months. So far, they've been training with us because they've been brought to the gym by the teachers and the social workers. So for them to come to the boxing would be a very, very positive sign that they had accepted everything that we had told them, and they had enough interest in the boxing to decide themselves to make their own way to the club and continue with the program. So at this stage, I don't know how many boys will be in the gym. I don't know if all of them will turn up. Very unlikely, quite frankly. But if I walk in there and I see just one boy, then it's all worth it.
Sam, Yu-hei, Kelvin and Manchit have teamed up to get to the club.
Hey, well done, boys. 開心見到你哋揸咩車？
揸的士。
And lo and behold, there was 4 of them from the group, and it was just one of those very nice moments when I thought, yeah, that seems to have worked out good. But they've also shown already some organisational skills. They're talking with each other. There's teamwork going on, which is also very nice to see. All 4 of them to get there at the same time, and they're on time. So all of it's very good news. Perhaps one of the sad things is that there's an endless supply of boys coming through these doors. So for the next year, I know I'll see another few hundred, and a few hundred the year after that. There's never-ending a supply of the boys. The more kids that go through and are success stories, the better. But we always still delight in the sort of the very few really positive stories that we have. Those are the ones that really motivate us.
Shurez went on to complete his Operation Breakthrough training.
Boxing has changed me in a lot of ways. Like discipline from the police club has translated into my life. I'm more disciplined, I'm on time, I'm very organized.
讀完書出嚟嘅興趣就係做廚房，做一個學徒仔咯，揾到錢得嚟，唔使嘥2餐嘅錢咯。
脾氣好咗好多咯，你掂我一條毛啊發脾氣㗎嘛，咁我而家好咗好多咯。到中6之後考教練牌咯，嗰啲運動嗰啲即係專教體育嗰啲教練啲考下教練牌咯。
Friends who got arrested at that time, they're still hanging out in streets. I don't know what they're up to. I'm not in touch with them.